Across the border from Israel, the hills of southern Syria look quiet, but at night the silence breaks. Helicopters skim low, soldiers cross in shadow, and men disappear without a trace. This isn't open war, it's the work of Unit 504, one of the Israel's most secretive branches of military intelligence. Most people know the name of Mossad. Few outside the Middle East know Unit 504. Yet in Syria, this small specialized unit has become Israel's frontline defense, recruiting agents, running cross border raids, and outmaneuvering both Iran and Hezbollah. Tonight, we uncover the story of this hidden war and how it sometimes collides with America's CIA, even though both are fighting the same enemy. Syria's civil war may have faded from the headlines, but for Israel, it has never stopped being a threat. Iranian militias, Hezbollah's fighters use Syrian soil to move weapons, build observation posts, and prepare attacks on Israeli northern frontier. For Washington, Syria is about containing ISIS and Russia, but for Israel, it's personal. Every shipment of rockets or drones could be aimed at its cities. That's why Israel conducts what they call the campaign between wars, a constant shadow campaign to destroy threats before they mature. Airstrikes, cyber footage, and most quietly, Unit 504. What is Unit 504? Unit 504 sits inside Israelis military intelligence. It's a unit, HUMINT, human intelligence. Where Mossad often runs global missions abroad, Unit 504 focuses on Israel's immediate borders. Their operatives recruit local Syrians, Palestinians, and others who can move unnoticed across hostile terrain. These agents provide real-time updates where Iranian convoys are moving, which houses hide weapon caches, which commanders are coordinating Hezbollah units, and sometimes Unit 504 doesn't just collect intelligence, it acts. Reports, including UN briefings, describe Israel's teams slipping into southern Syria to interrogate or capture targets. Some of these men are brought back across the border for questioning, others simply vanish into the night. The goal is always the same: prevent threats from reaching Israeli soil. Case studies in the shadow war. One striking example came when Israeli forces reportedly crossed the border to seize military commander believed to be coordinating Iranian weapons transfer. He was interrogated inside Israel, a silent operation that made barely a headline. Another mission focused on surveillance equipment installed along the Golan frontier. Unit 504 operatives are believed to have dismantled and removed gear, preventing Hezbollah from mapping Israeli positions. These operations are deniable, surgical, and precise. They almost never make global headlines, but for Israel, they're central to survival. CIA versus Mossad friction. Here's where it gets complicated. The US and Israel are allies. They share intelligence daily, but in Syria, their objectives sometimes clash. The CIA often prefers to keep local informants alive, using them for long-term monitoring. Israel, on the other hand, might decide to eliminate the same individual before he poses a risk. This creates quiet friction. When Unit 504 pulls someone off the board, it might cut off an American intelligence stream. When the CIA holds back intel, Israel might launch riskier missions to fill the gap. Neither side openly admits this, but analysts believe the shadow war in Syria is sometimes a three-way contest. Israel versus Iran, US versus ISIS, and in background, Mossad and CIA occasionally stepping on each other's toes. Why this matters now? Recent UN reports suggest Israel cross-border raids are increasing. Each one risks escalation with Damascus, Tehran, and Hezbollah. At the same time, US focus is divided, with resources stretching in Europe and Asia that leaves Israel to act more independently. For Unit 504, this means more missions, more recruitment, and more risk. And for watchers of global intelligence, it means the quiet rivalry between Mossad and the CIA in Syria may only grow sharper. Because in this theater, even allies have competing priorities. Most of the world will never hear about Unit 504. Its work happens in silence, in villages and deserts far from cameras. But in the shadows of Syria, Its missions decide whether rockets reach Israel strikes or whether alliances remain aligned or drift apart. The story of Unit 504 is a reminder that the intelligence world, victory doesn't look like parades or speeches, it looks like nothing happening at all.